a woman was pronounced dead by EMS,
wow.
but she actually wasn't dead. And so the funeral home came to pick her up, and they were on their way back to the funeral to embalm her. And as they were driving, they hear a
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the Michigan Midwest Trial Summit 2026 special edition. We're here in Detroit, but Cadillac. We got lawyers from all over the country coming in. There's a dude who flew in from Alaska, Alabama, California. The private jets are flying here like never before. This is going to be a great episodes. We're going to have guests from all over tell you about their stories. Welcome to the special edition of Cases Gone Wild.
Welcome to Cases Gone Wild. Very, very special episode. We're here at the Midwest Trial Lawyer Summit 2026. Thank you for joining with us. My name is Diego Alonso. I'm the Marco Law Marketing Coordinator. And with me today is...
Paulo Miller.
Yeah, Paulo, thank you so much for being our first guest. Please tell me, first of all, your firm, what you practice, and then last but not least, we're on Cases Gone Wild, so your craziest case would be great.
Okay, be happy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm the founder of the Miller Law Firm. I spent my first 6 years in big law. Then I crossed to the sunny side of the street to become a predominantly plaintiff's lawyer. All kinds of crazy cases.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, we're all over the map.
Yeah. That's exciting. Oh, yeah. How many clients have you had, do you think, on your career?
Oh, my God, hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah.
I've done hundreds of class actions. I've done everything from suing insurance companies, which is one of my favorite things to do.
That's good.
To lots of complex class actions, shareholder disputes, you name it, we've
100%.
done it.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to insurance, I mean, you see some of the craziest cases, and these companies, they just don't want to, take accountability, right?
100%.
Yeah.
When it comes time to collecting your money, they're happy to do it.
Right.
But when it comes time to pay,
yeah,
they
it's
ain't nowhere
they're nowhere to be found.
I always think of them as like the roulette wheel at the casino.
Exactly.
When you bet and bet and bet and you lose, they're happy to take your money.
I know.
But your number hits, oh, sorry, that was a machine malfunction.
We
can't pay you.
Exactly.
I mean, I am a big-time insurance skeptic.
That's great. Yeah. So let's hear your craziest case when it comes to insurance or anything related.
So I had this jury trial in Wayne County against an insurance company that refused to pay. Now, there are a couple things that went wild in that case.
Yeah.
One is the insurance company said, we made a mistake in our fine print.
Of course.
We recognize the fine print says we got to pay, but we wrote the fine print wrong. So, jury, we want you to rewrite the fine print for us so we can screw this insured. That was basically their case. So the good news is it took the jury about 20 minutes to give us everything we wanted. So that was pretty wild. A jury saying, don't trust our fine print.
Yeah, no.
But there's a better part of the story.
Let's hear it, please.
So I made a deal with defense counsel. We're going to tell you the night before who we're going to call the next day.
Okay.
We kept our word.
Yeah.
We told them. Now, as a young lawyer, this is probably my third or fourth trial.
Right.
And so we were about to rest. And this is one of the things I learned from this case.
Yeah.
Never rest till you have to rest. Thank God I didn't rest. I had an instinct that even though I was done, I was going to just think about it some more that night. So I called my opponent and said, hey, I told you yours, mine, who are yours? Who are you calling tomorrow?
Right.
So he gave me the list. I said, thank you very much. And I walk into the courtroom, and there's this woman. I'll call her Ms. Hughes.
Okay, we'll go with that.
And I'm like, what's she doing here?
All right.
What's she doing here? I said to my opponent, well, she's my first witness. You didn't tell me about her last night? And he does this.
No way.
Now, this I shouldn't have done.
That's
I
wild.
do regret this, but I looked around the courtroom. Nobody was there.
Yeah.
So I gave him a certain finger within about an inch of his nose because I was mad as hell. I believe in honor.
Right. Yeah,
I believe you keep
your word. Yeah.
you keep your word. Then I got smart.
Okay.
I calmed down.
Good.
I went over to the woman. I said, "Are you represented by anybody?" "No." "Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?" "Not at all." Now, she was predominantly a defense witness, but I found 4 or 5 things that could be helpful to our case. So now I shut my mouth. Judge comes in, calls in the jury, and says, "Mr. Miller, you rest?" I said, "No, Your Honor. Plaintiff is going to call one more plaintiff's witness. We call Ms. Hughes." And the defense lawyer jumps up and says, "She's our witness. He can't do that." And I said, "Your Honor, Ms. Hughes is a plaintiff's witness.
Yeah.
She's on our witness list. I did not rest my case." Judge said, "Mr. Miller, go ahead and call your plaintiff's witness."
Boom.
So,
Mic drop.
boom.
Just grenade.
Surprised this rat with his own surprise.
Yes.
And it took the wind out of his sails.
Turn the tables right
Turned
around.
the tables.
Yeah.
Her testimony became muddled. Didn't really hurt us very much.
Good. Okay.
And we got everything we asked for. So
Beautiful.
I think that's pretty wild.
I think that's wild. Yeah. Last minute scenes in the courtroom are just they're so fun.
Yeah. So I love this practice. It's a great thing, and appreciate being invited on Cases Gone Wild. John does a great job. You guys do a great
Thank
job.
you so much.
And so thanks.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you, and thanks for coming. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. Hey guys, my second guest of the day. Very excited to have it on Cases Gone Wild, this very special edition of in the Midwest Trial Lawyer Summit 2026. I'm Diego, and today we have with us...
I'm David Goodrich from the Miller Law Firm.
David, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for taking the time. How are you liking the event so far?
It's great. It's great. It's a great networking event.
Yeah.
You get a lot of insightful information. So
yeah, it's great.
I'm excited.
This is your first time coming to this event? I know they have it annually.
Yeah, first time.
First time. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So please, David, share with us your craziest case you've had in your career. You do personal injury, correct?
No, business litigation.
Business litigation.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And I had a arbitration with Powell Miller, who you just met.
Yeah, great guy.
But we represented Peter Carmanos.
Okay.
In a dispute with his company CompuWare. After he had left as CEO and he was the chairman of the company. But this was a 2 or 3 week arbitration.
Okay.
And we had just some of the craziest witnesses that came up.
Definitely.
I was actually a law clerk at the time of the case.
Okay.
And Powell Miller had been examining some of these witnesses, and the way he organizes the case is unbelievable. We had a box with manila folders, and each manila folder had the topic of what the cross-examination topic would be.
Okay. Wow.
And
sounds organized.
yeah, and so I was, sitting next to him with the box, and I would pass these to him, and I was joking with him like I was passing him mortars.
Right.
Because every folder I handed to him, they were, pinpoint questions on different topics. But his cross-examination of the current CEO of the company was just unbelievable. We had audio recordings from E-Trade regarding stock options that had been withheld from Peter, and then I don't know. I mean, it was just a crazy trial. We had the witness would admit that Peter was trying to go behind the company's back to start a proxy fight, but when questioned about it, the CEO said, I didn't approach the general counsel with these concerns because I was at an event handing out awards.
Right.
And just terrible excuses. If it was really as serious as they made it out to be, why would he not immediately, try and jump on that?
Exactly.
But no, it was just very, very precise questions that got to the really the heart of the case.
Yeah.
And showed that his Peter Carmanos' stock options were taken from him.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to stocks, I mean, there's always that iffy part. There's always that there's that side that can be abused, right, with stocks.
Right.
And yeah, so how much money was involved in that case?
So this was, I think it was about $5 million worth of stock options, and we actually got treble damages in that case.
Wow. Okay.
So it went up to over $15 million.
Wow. Wow.
When it
Huge
eventually,
number. Yeah.
Got resolved. But no, it was a very interesting case.
Yeah.
And Devin Allard was also on the team with us, as well as Kevin O'Shea. And no, it was just, every night we would come back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We'd map out what our strategy was with each witness.
Definitely.
What we wanted done.
Yeah.
And it was just early in my career as I was a law clerk, but just a very informative experience,
of course,
to kind of learn how this is all done.
100%.
And no, you couldn't have asked for a better client either.
Yeah.
Peter Carmanos was unbelievable. I
mean, it makes it easier too, right? When you have a client that is easy to work with, and you really you're passionate about helping.
Right.
It's definitely plays a role for sure.
No, absolutely. But no, it was a great experience, and yeah, we've done. I think I've done probably 20 trials since then.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
so that was a great experience for you then.
Yeah, really,
Okay.
It really set me up, and was able to carry over all that knowledge to future cases as well. So.
Definitely, yeah. And John told me once before, like, the best way to get experience in the law world is start as a law clerk and in a law firm and work your way up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Especially if you want to have your own firm. So
yeah. No, exactly. So it was a phenomenal experience, and I couldn't have asked for a better early trial to attend. So
exciting, David.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time. Are you gonna be here for the 2 days?
I will. Yeah.
Okay, great. We're gonna be here for a while, but thank you so much for stopping by and sharing us your craziest case.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Right. Thanks, brother.
My name is Coro Camo, out of Troy. I own the firm Camo Law.
Great.
And I'm trying to think, what is the craziest fact scenario? We do have one. It was a few years back.
Okay.
To where this lady, she was a security guard, right? In her 50s, single, never committed a crime.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The only crime, I guess, to her would be that it's the skin of her color, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And what I mean by that is this is the sweetest lady.
Yeah.
She goes into this gas station that she frequents almost every day because she knows the owner. She buys lottery tickets. And there's someone in front of her that forgot their card.
No way.
Right?
Yeah.
So what the client did is she went to the counter, she picked it up.
Okay.
She goes outside and catches the person before they left, and she asked the other person that's in the gas station by the pumps and asked them, "Is this your card?"
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being friendly. Yeah.
She's being a good Samaritan.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
What any decent person would do.
Yeah. So what she did is she literally went back to the gas station, picked up the card, and gave it to the person that said that was her card.
Okay.
And the other lady thanked her.
Oh,
and
great.
that's it. Our client went in, bought her lottery tickets, and went home. Days later, she's on the news.
What?
Because they were saying that someone committed credit card theft.
Oh, my gosh.
And then my client loses her job. And again, she's a single mother with 2 kids.
Yeah.
She's not a high earner, and she lives in Detroit.
Right.
So what she did is she goes to the police station and literally tries to clear up her name and saying, like, look, I asked the person, is this your card?
Right.
That person wasn't the card owner.
No way.
But my client did not know. It's not like my client had the intent of committing credit card theft.
Exactly.
So they literally arrested her at the spot because the skin of her color.
Yeah, literally, just for trying to be a good
person. The
person.
color of her skin, I mean.
Yeah. Just for being African American.
So this lady, if I'm not mistaken, was facing like 2 felonies.
No way.
And it got bounded over, and we took it to trial.
Wow.
Right? Once the prosecution rested their case, we moved for a directed verdict. Pretty much is you're trying to dismiss the case right when they finish.
Right.
The judge was so pissed off to where he dismissed it. And literally it's like we did that case pro bono because in the beginning we couldn't believe the facts. Because again, when a lot of clients come to us and they tell us this, and this, it doesn't always end up being those facts.
Yeah.
This one was exactly how it is.
Word for word.
She went inside, she saw a card, she ran outside to tell the lady, "Did you forget your card?"
Yeah.
Our client went inside, grabbed the card, and gave it to the other person, and my client got charged with 2 felony charges.
That's insane.
That is insane.
It's insane. She was definitely profiled for sure.
Yes.
From what you're telling us.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean that's awful. And like she lost everything. She was a single mother. Mm-hmm. I mean, just trying to feed her kids.
Yeah. And sometimes I have so much hope for the world because we had a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And at the brink of her losing her home, this GoFundMe gave her enough to where she started making payments.
Oh, wow.
Like it made enough. It gave her enough to where she didn't lose her home.
That's beautiful.
And for that, it's such a beautiful story.
100%.
But it just makes you realize there is racial profiling.
Oh, yes.
Based on the color of your skin.
Yeah, even in 2026, even now. So it's, still happening.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, she thought she was doing a good thing, right?
Yes.
And this person took advantage. So it's like, and then she paid the prices. So
exactly.
That's a wild case.
Yeah.
That's a pretty wild case. And it's unfortunate. But that's why I love, attorneys like you that represent these clients that, they don't have good representation.
Exactly.
And they're just trying to get by. And yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's my story.
Thank you.
No, shout out to Brandon because he was the one that litigated the case, but that was the craziest fact pattern of a case that the firm ever handled.
100%, yeah. So, how many hours do you think you've had in the court in your career?
Oh man, so for me, I love the court.
Yeah.
And anytime I have the opportunity to go in person, I will take advantage of that.
Definitely, yeah.
But as of right now, I would say about 5,000 hours because again, I've been practicing for 9 years. I wouldn't say I'm 1,000 hours per year in the courtroom because it's a little too much.
Right.
But it's going to be about 500 hours per year inside the courtroom. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure you've cross-witnessed a lot of people, cross-examined a lot of witnesses.
Yes.
What do you think has been the toughest part of doing that? And what's kind of one strategy you would give to an up-and-coming attorney?
And with technology and everything, the cross-examination itself is not the hardest. It's the operational side of it. It's having the capacity of it. 100%. So that's why I made a commitment to my firm saying I'm going to take a step back and really concentrate on the operations because now that we literally doubled the entire staff and we're only hiring more because now we have the capability of really being more aggressive and taking more depositions in every single one of our cases because 100%. The depositions are not the hard part because the insurance companies always screw up.
Yeah,
always.
Exactly.
There's always a screw up there. But it's a matter of having the time and the capacity to take that deposition and prep for it.
100%, yeah. And it takes a good team to do it, for
exactly.
sure. And a lot of digging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coral.
I appreciate it,
Appreciate
Diego.
you taking the time, and
of course.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much, my man. How are we doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Great. Thanks for coming to the Midwest Trial Lawyer Summit.
Absolutely.
Is this your first time coming to one of these events, or?
Second time. We were here last year.
Second time in a row.
It was a wonderful presentation. A lot of great speakers. Learned a ton. It's great to get people together from the community and from outside the community. come and talk about, trial work and the things that we're doing and learning every day.
100%. Yeah. And, these up and coming lawyers, they can learn something from the big names, right? And help the clients. That's what's important, right?
Absolutely. There's always new things to learn. There's always cutting edge strategies that you see people testing out, and you want to know, how did they get there? How did they feel about doing it? Did it pan out? And, for John and Stan to bring all these people in from all over the country, help us learn from them. It's a fantastic
100%.
opportunity.
Yeah, and it's about also like how to speak to the jury, right? And convey that message of your case and the person you're representing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Jury selection, as we know, is the most important part of trial.
100%.
Doesn't matter how good your evidence is. If you don't have a jury that's open to it,
exactly.
It's not going to pan out for you probably. So,
yeah.
Being able to talk to people, talk to juries, figure out what's important to them, figure out how to communicate with them, your case, the important parts of your case, and the things that they need to know to arrive at a decision that's hopefully good for your client.
Yeah.
That's the most important skill you could have, I think, in trial
100%.
work.
Yeah. And I guess before I get a little too ahead of myself, so just tell us about yourself, your law firm, and what kind of clients you take on, and then last but not least, you're on the Cases Gone Wild podcast, so your craziest case.
Yeah, I love it. We are one of the largest firms in Michigan, the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. I've been there for about 18 years now. Started as a law clerk. Currently working on what's called our major case unit, where we, really don't take a one-size-fits-all approach to our cases. We make sure that each case that has, some of the characteristics that we would want to maximize for our clients, we make sure that they have the resources and the capabilities and the people that are needed to get the job done right for our clients and make sure we get the result that we want for them.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm focused on right now. It's a whole team effort. We got a whole team of people working on these. We've been, chipping away at our biggest cases over the past couple of years and getting a lot of success from them.
Yeah, I have to ask you, though, are you on the billboards that we see everywhere in Michigan?
We reserve that for, the stars of our firm. But, all of our team kind of chips in to do marketing and to, communicate the value of our firm to the public, to our clients, so people know, this is what we bring to the table. And we're proud of the work that we do and the way that we do it. And our number one focus is to make sure that our clients are the center of our work and that they're well taken care of.
100%. And I have to say, you guys do a great job with the marketing. The content you guys do every week, it's so entertaining. What you do with Mark. Mark's a great guy, by the way, on the camera.
Mark's a great guy. What you see from Mark in public is what you see from him in private.
Exactly.
He's a super kind, smart, articulate, great businessman, great human being,
100%,
great family.
Yeah.
It's been really a pleasure to, have worked with them over the years. And very happy of the work that we've been able to do together.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I mean, you've worked with the Bernsteins for a while, I'm assuming. So what's been one of the craziest cases you've seen, whether it's in court, in the process of going to trial? Yeah. Tell us, please.
We're handling a case right now that is pretty crazy. We're handling a case right now in Eastern District of Michigan. It's a claim involving a young boy who was at a detention facility in downtown. And this detention facility was meant to house adult prisoners.
Right.
And they moved a bunch of kids into this facility knowing that they didn't have enough staff to take care of those people and make sure that they, were adequately protected, make sure they had the resources, the schooling, the food, the clothing, all of those things. Meanwhile, all of the people who are running this facility and working at this facility keep saying this place is a powder keg. This place is going to have problems. These kids are not safe. The workers are not safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you see people turning a blind eye to, assaults, abuse, sexual assault. And one of our clients, was a recent unfortunate victim there. And so, this is a case where we're bringing the whole power of the firm to get justice for this client and make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen again in the future.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I mean, changing policies and making those new rules happen due to these lawsuits, it's what matters most, right? Because
Absolutely. And especially when it comes to kids, and youth, the kids our kids are the future of our society, and we need
100%.
to protect them and make sure that they are not in this vulnerable situation where they don't have anybody fight for them. So we're taking this case on. It's a very serious case, and we hope to get a very great result for our client.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Representing the people that don't have a voice, and they're just they're trying to trust the process. So yeah,
absolutely,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many attorneys right now work for the Bernsteins? Would you say?
We got about 45 lawyers right now.
A big firm.
We're all over the state, so we handle cases everywhere.
Definitely.
And we've been growing over the past few years to make sure that we can provide the level of service that our clients expect and that we want to deliver. And so that means having a robust team and being able to put people in place wherever those cases need them. And that's how we've been running the business.
Awesome. Yeah. Did you study here in Michigan or?
Yeah, I went to Wayne State Law School.
Wayne State. Great.
Yeah, I went to law school at Wayne State. I did an internship at the Michigan Supreme Court, which is where I first met John, because he was clerking for the Chief Justice, and I was an intern there.
No kidding.
Working alongside him.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then, it's great to be back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you guys are both in the big leagues, I would say. No.
Yeah, doing our thing.
That's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So I have to ask, so when you're in the trial, because people, they don't really know the full process, right? When you're cross-examining a witness, for example, what's something important you would ask them, or what's like a way you would approach it that's the most effective?
Well, each case is different. What you want to try to do is make sure that when you're cross-examining a witness, you want to get the message out that you need the jury to hear. And you want to make sure that that witness is telling the story that you kind of want them to tell. You have an idea, usually, what the witness is probably going to testify to, the universe of things that they could testify to. But it's important to make sure that you tailor your questions such that they are telling the story for you to the jury, and you're not, putting all kinds of words in people's mouth. But they are able to tell that story, and the jury's like, well, if this guy is saying it, it must be consistent with the plaintiff's story. And that's another checkbox in the plaintiff's column to make sure that when the jury goes back and starts talking, well, I heard from this guy, I heard from this guy, I heard from this guy, and they're all consistent with what the plaintiff's saying. We got to find for him.
Yeah, that's just telling the story as is, and nothing biased about it. And the people see that, right? The jury sees it, and they make the conclusion themselves. So
yeah, juries are smart. They understand what's going on. It's our job to make sure that they get the story the way it's the truth, the way it's supposed to be told, not with all the sugarcoating and not with all the distractions that the defense wants to put up.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And now I have to ask, when it comes to being in a big firm like the one you're in, how do you maintain communication between all these different departments and all these people? Because, you have all these attorneys, but I'm sure you have even bigger support staff, right?
Absolutely. It's a process that we've honed for many, many years. Our firm's been in business for 55 years, and it starts from the top down, from Mark and Beth and Rebecca Sposito, who's our president, and the rest of our team kind of make sure that communication is at the forefront, because if you have a good idea or you have a plan, if you don't communicate those things, then they may not happen, or they may not happen the way that you intended them to happen. Exactly. And those have ripple effects from the leaders at the firm all the way down to the clients and our vendors and whomever might be working with us to help, make sure we get our cases done right. So communication is key. We try to have open lines, open doors, and make sure that nobody feels that they can't talk about something that they, have a feeling about.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. I won't hold you for too long, but thank you. Really
thank you
appreciate
very much.
Welcome to the special episode of Cases Gone Wild. We're with Samantha Teal.
Hello. Where am I looking? Right here?
We'll just talk like this. Yeah. So tell me, where are we at, and this special event that you're hosting for us with the Marco Law Firm?
We're at the Midwest Trial Lawyer Summit, where we are bringing trial lawyers from all over the country. In fact, we have someone from Alaska here, the British Virgin Islands. So
that's exciting.
It's awesome. We had a great turnout. We're excited.
Yeah, great. So tell us, what was it like setting up this event? And talk to me about your firm, right?
Yeah.
Being a litigation consultant, right?
Yeah, it's been great. A little stressful, but as these events are, but it's been good. We're having a good time. we have a great turnout, and I hope everyone has a good time. Yes, I own a consulting company, so I do trial consulting all around the country. I help John on a lot of his trials, which I'm honored to do, and we're excited to have everyone here and kind of push forward the practice of law.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. And we're on the Cases Gone Wild podcast. Yeah. I'd love to hear your craziest case. We've definitely worked on some, I feel like, together as a law firm.
Craziest case is I had a case once where a woman was pronounced dead by EMS, but she actually wasn't dead. And so the funeral home came to pick her up, and they were on their way back to the funeral to embalm her. And as they were driving, they hear a
oh my gosh.
And she was in the back, and she was alive.
Wow. Yeah. And they pronounced her dead, or they
pronounced her dead. And she ended up, she was in the hospital for 3 months and then ended up passing away. But yeah, it was a crazy case. Crazy.
That is crazy. So the family was trying to get.
Yeah, because they pronounced her dead, and they didn't treat her because they thought, oh, she must be dead.
Yeah,
so the EMS never treated her.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, I hope they got justice for sure.
So it was at my old law firm, so I'm not sure kind of what the end result was, but that was definitely one of the craziest cases I've ever been involved with.
100%. Thank you, Samantha. And then quick question. I mean, you're always in trials. You're doing back-to-back work. You're doing these big events, big conferences. How do you maintain your sanity? How do you maintain this?
I don't. No, I'm just kidding. Trying to take quick breaks here or there in between the chaos. But yeah, it's thankful, blessed. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
100%.
And right now, things are going well, so you got to keep on that momentum. So.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you for stopping by.
No problem.
And we look forward to having this amazing event.
Thank you so much.
You're on the Cases Gone Wild podcast.
Okay.
Please, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your firm, your practice, and last but not least, I mean, your craziest case you've ever been involved in,
Well, let's see. So my name is J.J. Conway. I have a boutique litigation practice in Royal Oak where we litigate employee benefit disputes.
Beautiful.
So it's everything from healthcare disputes to pension problems to long-term disability. And so I started coming to this seminar because I wanted to learn a little bit more about bringing trial skills to that.
100%.
It's an area that doesn't allow a lot of trial work, but it's sort of changing. And so I just would like to be prepared for what's coming down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, so we've been in existence for 27 years.
Wow.
I started the practice when I was 27, and we've been going at it for 27 years.
No kidding. And now we talked that you're a Michigan native. Where did you study? Where did you take?
So I went to U of D High. I went to school in Detroit.
Great.
Then I went to Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then I came back and went to law school at U of D Law.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I mean, you've been you're a veteran of the game. You know how it is. no shade.
That's a good way of putting it. It's also it's amazing how much time's gone by. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So you've experienced kind of how the law world has evolved, right? Right now, there seems to be a push for the AI, right? The use of AI for drafting, let's say, depositions. What's been the biggest change you've seen, I guess, in the law world, or if anything at all? And just so the audience knows.
Well, I think my biggest concern is that, first of all, I'm learning AI, and I think you have to understand it.
You have
to. But what I'm getting surprised at is how many judges are using it.
Yes.
And so that is going to present its own set of challenges, because if it accidentally hallucinates, how do you explain to a judge
exactly
that maybe there's a problem with the opinion somewhere?
Yeah.
And I've seen sometimes where judges let things slip through that they don't want necessarily an opinion.
Right.
A lot of my work is in federal court.
Okay.
So these opinions that we get are fairly lengthy,
right.
And sometimes they convert an internal bench memorandum and something will sneak through that they don't want in there.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what's going to happen with AI. But I think the thing is, like they were just saying in the seminar, is to embrace it. It's here.
Yeah,
you got to learn it and try to move forward with it.
Definitely. And be careful with it, right? Because there's a confidentiality that comes with every case. And I mean, like you said, it hallucinates and it just straight up makes up cases at time. I even saw this funny clip where an attorney, I don't know if you saw the same one, but the attorney straight up made up the
already,
case.
So you don't even have to get it out. But
yeah, it was hilarious. The attorney made up the case and the judge was like, that's not a real case. And
I mean, it is interesting. I would say, at least in my experience, AI is right 25% of the time on case law.
Yeah.
Wrong more often than right currently.
Yes. So, yeah. Got to be careful with that. Yeah. But so you've been in the trial, you've been in that process. what's been something you see a lot of attorneys do that maybe you would recommend for cross-examining, let's say, a witness or a jury, like kind of handling the jury or anything like that that's been effective, that's gotten those multi-million-dollar verdicts and settlements, you know?
So I think the one thing I would tell any new lawyer that's starting out, I watch YouTube videos when I work out.
Right.
It's a good way to
Same.
burn up the time if you're on a Stairmaster or whatever.
Exactly.
And I would go back and watch the 10 Commandments of Cross-Examination by Professor Irving Younger.
Yeah.
It's from the 1970s. These guys all look kind of crazy. It's grainy. It's in black and white. He's on the side of a mountain like it's the Sermon on the Mount.
No way.
Anyhow, what's interesting about it is those rules haven't changed.
Yeah.
Cross-examination should be lightning fast.
Yes.
It should be succinct, and you should be in and out of there early. And you should be over-prepared.
100%.
But that's part of his method. And I think even today, I mean, this is 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
If you follow it, I don't think you'll go wrong in cross-examination. Of course, you got to practice.
Yeah. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And I mean, yeah. And I mean, the tools that are available for us, they've changed, right? And they've gotten better. But I mean, people in general, I mean, we're still, you know, they're the same, you know, how people operate, you know?
That's the one gamble I think it's worth taking is I don't think AI is going to replace the human interaction.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing we have going for us.
100%. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Is this your first, you said this is your first time in this summit or?
Second.
Yeah.
It was so good last year. I'm back again this year.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we hope to have more of these events, and but thank you for stopping by the podcast.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, Diego. Appreciate
you
it.
too. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, JJ. All right, so welcome to the Cases Gone Wild podcast. How are you doing? First, let's start with your name, your career in the legal world, and we'll work our way towards the craziest case because we're on that craziest Cases Gone Wild.
All right. Well, thank you so much. My name is Judge Patricia Perez Frazard, and I'm the only Hispanic judge in the whole Wayne County Circuit Court.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I'm in Wayne County Circuit Court. I just finished a term as chief judge, back to trial court, which I love best.
Yeah.
So I'm a civil trial court judge.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I mean, as a judge, you've probably seen the craziest cases, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've adjourned, I'm sure, some interesting people for sure.
Well, yes, I was in the criminal, felony, capital cases for 8 years, and then the rest of the time in civil. So yeah, it's been a run.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Yeah. How many years did you practice in the field, would you say?
I practiced about 10 years as an assistant prosecutor before I became a judge in Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, and that was, I think, crucial to great training. Prosecutors' offices can't be beat for all the experience 100%. You get as a trial lawyer. And that's why I love this, field, and I love seeing great trial lawyers.
Yeah.
And, I hope a lot more lawyers get that basic training and get a lot of experience in court. I think after COVID, we see a big drop in that.
Yes.
And so I'm here to support everybody who wants to be a great trial lawyer.
Exactly. And, how you handle your performance in the court is everything, right? And
absolutely
interacting with the jury, right? And making sure you're asking the right questions, for sure. I'm sure is very important.
Absolutely. Having the background in the preparation of knowing your stuff.
Yes.
And then presenting it well with integrity and sincerity. I mean, that's all of it, really.
It's everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. And now, are you bilingual by chance?
I am.
Okay. Have you ever had to use your second language in the trials, any of the trials?
Yes. Once in a while, we have maybe a juror or a witness or someone who, most of the time we have interpreters, and we have expert interpreters who come in if there is an actual issue. But, once in a while, it's just a word or so.
Right.
And, so.
That's exciting. Yeah. And I mean, first Latina judge, in the Detroit area, right?
I'm not the first, no. Judge Torres actually before me, way before me, and he retired a few years ago. And we also had one other judge, Maria Oxholm, who was in our court, but right now I am. And so I just really think that it should be encouraged that we have a great diversity in the legal field as
100%.
judges and lawyers, and really just be inclusive, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm with John Marco a lot. I'm with his trials. You know, they get pretty crazy. Have you ever had to break up two lawyers just going at it in the court? Like, I'm sure you're handling them like children in there. You know, sometimes.
You know, it's funny because they say in the criminal court, a lot of times you have the worst people in life on their best behavior because there's a lot of deputies, there's a lot of supervision because there are possible problems. But then in civil courts, especially like divorce court, for instance, you have some of the best people on their worst behavior because
100%.
When it's about money and it's about relationships and it's about civil issues, a lot of times the collegiality goes by the side.
It does.
And everyone really wants to fight. So I believe in very strong advocacy, but not so much aggression against your opponent. I like lawyers who can fight hard but shake hands at the end of the day.
That's what it's about, yeah. And it doesn't have to get personal. You know, you're just there representing your client, right? Trying to do your best,
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, awesome. Well, I guess over the years, what's been something you've seen? I mean, of course, COVID hit, and that changed a lot the legal world a bit. But what's been the biggest like difference you've seen since you started your career and to present?
You know, I think that we are all interested in efficiency and technology and using technology. So I think that on the one hand, the remote hearings have been great for efficiency, for, small issues, so that it saves the lawyers time of coming in and driving in. So that's wonderful. But the negative effect of that is that a lot of people then don't want to come in. They want to do everything remotely.
Yes.
And we see a great drop in, as judges, we do a lot of settlement conferences.
Yes, 100%.
And a lot of trying to resolve cases. The truth of the matter is probably 90% of civil cases want their goal is to settle. It's not to try a case.
Yeah.
And it is slower and more expensive for lawyers.
Definitely.
When you don't take the time and the effort to figure out what's better done in person.
Yeah.
Some settlement conferences are complex. Some hearings are complex.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to be in front of a judge in person.
Yeah.
And you also want to train lawyers better.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's what it's about. No, that's great. So, thank you so much for taking the time to being on this show.
I just wanted to say one other thing. You talked about that this was about trials.
Yes.
And about interesting trials. And I do want to mention, I know I mentioned this to you off record.
Yes.
That trials, I think, are very exciting. And
100%.
I would just encourage the lawyers to just put in every single bit of passion and work into your cases. And I think, I used as an example because you asked me if I was a trial lawyer and what I've done as the biggest case. I mean, at a different time, we can probably go into detail. But I mentioned as the biggest case, the most important case I felt I ever tried. When you are a prosecutor prosecuting serious crimes, I was honored to be able to be assigned a case with the worst predator that I have ever known of is a school teacher, catechism teacher, who, was victimized hundreds and hundreds of kids in Macomb County. And we had a huge trial on that.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't know, your time's probably short, but I think that even when it started, the case was brought to us as a prosecutor's office as this is going to be impossible to prosecute. Everyone loves this guy. There's only one woman who's 19 years old, lives in a trailer park, single mom. You're not going to be able to do this. It looks almost kind of like a repressed memory piece of garbage.
Right.
And because she's testifying about what happened to her when she was 10 years old and she's 19. Well, she came to me and she broke my heart. She said, I just had a child. I'm a single mom. And I know my mom tried, but she was fooled by this guy.
Right.
I feel that he's a huge danger. And I feel like unless I step up to the plate and out him on what he has done, that I'm not going to be the best mother I can be to my little baby girl.
Yeah.
And she was a fantastic witness. at the end of this trial, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Awesome.
But she and I were both willing to delve deep into how can you get the evidence?
Yes.
How can you get some objective evidence from photographs, from diaries, from other witnesses to really bolster her case to show what he did. And like I said, at the end of this, we had over 50 adult people coming in to support us in his sentencing, to say that they were also victimized, but it was at an earlier historical time when they could not in any way make him responsible for these horrific acts against children.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things trial lawyers do.
100%,
Proud to be a trial lawyer when I was, and really proud to be a judge overseeing
100%.
to see that justice is done objectively for all sides in a case. And glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, how's it going, Tom?
Doing great.
Awesome. You're here in the Midwest Trial Lawyer Summit 2026. You were here last year.
I was.
As a speaker, correct?
Yeah. Here speaking again this year, too. Yeah.
Oh, we're great. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're very excited to hear what you have to say and the advice you can give to these up-and-coming trial attorneys, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited to share what we've learned. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about kind of a philosophy that we have in terms of handling cases and trial. I'm writing a book right now. It's going to be called No Limits.
Okay.
And we're going to give everybody a sneak preview of what's in the book. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. And I'm sure you're so let's start by saying what law firm are you in? What's your practice? And let's talk about those big cases because you're here for a reason, right?
Yeah. So Tom Dickerson is my name.
Right.
I practice with my wife, Chelsea Oxton Dickerson. Our
Beautiful.
firm is Dickerson Oxton in Kansas City.
Great.
We have a national mass tort firm with Nick Rowley, Jacob Norman, Courtney Rowley.
Yeah.
That's called Justice for the Masses. That just launched.
Justice for Masses. Great.
So it's an exciting time for us. I do all different types of personal injury work, mass actions, toxic torts. I mean, you name it. If they're injured, we'll probably look at it.
Great.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, some cool stuff that we've done the last year. We got a great settlement on it was a negligent security case.
No kidding.
It was $95,384.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the largest settlement for the wrongful death of an African American man in U.S. history.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's historic.
Just crazy fact. So these two young men went to a national retailer. There's a limited confidentiality provision,
Right,
so I can't name names. But these two young men went to the store, and one of the young men was shoplifting.
Yeah.
Another one of the young men was not. And so we represented the family of the young man that was not shoplifting.
Yeah.
And the store manager approached them at the door, followed them outside, and grabbed our decedent, the person that died, put him in a chokehold.
Yeah.
And then the other young man gave up the stolen goods and put him on the ground and said, "Please let my friend go." And the store manager didn't. He choked him to the point of almost being unconscious.
Oh, my gosh.
Dragged his body across the curb.
Horrible.
Locked in the chokehold even deeper. And then hog-tied him and sat on him for 384 seconds.
Jesus.
Until he killed him.
That's disgusting.
And
wow.
so there was all sorts of crazy stuff in that case. We had to deal with insurance coverage issues.
Yeah.
We have caps in Kansas where the case happened, so we had to figure out a conflict of laws analysis to get the case an application of Missouri law, and we filed the case in Missouri. So, I mean, it was kind of a three-ring circus for a while in terms of getting it together, but there's so many different things that we did that were novel and interesting in that case to get the recovery.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, those settlements in general, they don't really break that like 10 million mark. And you don't see that often. With verdicts, right, you see the huge numbers, but settlements way different.
Well, a big portion of that was we had great personal counsel in the case. There's a great lawyer from Kansas City named Tim Dollar.
Yeah.
He was our personal counsel in the case. He really pressed on the insurance companies.
Good.
Also, we have a great trial reputation. And so the insurance companies knew we would take the case to trial. And, the other part is just understanding what the case value is. We utilized big data focus grouping. We had a very good idea as to what the case value was going to be.
Excellent.
And, I come from a family of insurance folks, so we know how to communicate with them and make sure that they know that there's risk involved.
Yeah.
And so when we were able to get everybody to the table, they understood that this was a very, very high exposure case for them, and that actually if they didn't pay us, it was going to get a whole lot worse later.
Yeah, and I mean, insurance companies, they try to avoid those big settlements and big cases, and it comes from, so since you're coming from a family that knows how it works, those loopholes, right? They know how so...
Yeah, growing up, my father was an insurance adjuster and then a manager, and so, around the dinner table at night, I'd hear about cases and the things that, he was dealing with. And then my mother was an insurance adjuster also. My sister, up until recently, was an insurance adjuster.
Yeah.
She worked at Chubb and Travelers, so... I am the black sheep of the family, being a plaintiff's lawyer, but I'm proud of that. It's a good thing.
That's great.
My sister actually has just joined our firm now, so she's helping with some administrative aspects of the firm. So we're really happy to have her and out of the insurance world finally.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. Have you ever worked with John on any cases together? Or?
No. I've talked a lot with John, and I've been watching him this last year. He is on a tear. I'm so proud of him. He's had these fantastic trial results this last year, but that was only just a matter of time for John. If you know John and his willingness to go to trial and how much he cares about his clients, so
100%.
There's going to be many more to come for him in the future. So I'm excited for his future and what he has got going on.
Should be good. So I guess for any up and coming plaintiff lawyers or anything like that, what would be your number one advice to them? Would you say?
Oh man. Well, I have a lot of advice, and this is part of what we're going to talk about today, and part about what No Limits is. All of us, we all have these self-imposed limitations that we have. And, to be a trial lawyer, you have to put those into context, and you have 100%. To understand what those are and identify them, and then you have to push past them. So there's a lot of things that, go into a trial of a case and becoming a really great trial lawyer. But one of the biggest things that we have to deal with is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of loss, fear of looking stupid, fear of letting a client down. There's so many things that we get wrapped up in.
100%.
But the best way to look at it is to, reframe it.
Yeah.
You should never be afraid to go to trial. You should never be afraid 100%. To, put yourself out there. What we really need to be scared about is not being the best version of ourselves and doing the best job possible.
Yeah.
Because if you do that and you put it all on the line for the client, you're ahead of 99% of the lawyers that do this work, because there's just not a lot of real trial lawyers anymore.
Yeah.
So, my advice would be, put yourself out there and just realize, and this is a fact, when you lose a case, nobody talks about it, nobody dwindles on it, whatever. People have short-term memory when
100%.
It comes to losses. But you know what? People talk about wins forever.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about wins for a long time. A lot of the, people that are speaking at this conference, we know the cases where they've gotten these great results and everything, and people still talk about it.
Yeah.
So don't worry so much about being scared about going to trial or putting yourself out there. No one cares.
Yeah, right.
But they will care if you win, which is all the more reason to go out and put yourself on the line and do it and try cases.
Yeah, 100%. And it seems like passion is what matters most. Being passionate about the case, the client you're representing, and I guess
you got to believe in it, of course.
Yeah.
You have to care about your client. You have to care about the process. Really great trial lawyers really care about the sanctity of the jury trial itself. I mean, if you think about how amazing it is to just get 12 people off the street.
Yeah.
And they're going to sit in a box. They're going to listen to the respective sides. They're going to decide what's right and wrong.
Yeah,
and that
100%.
in this country was born out of, oppression and tyranny.
Yes.
Our founders said, look, we need to do this a better way.
100%.
And what we're going to do is we're not going to have corruption. We're not going to have the king or the king's buddy deciding the case. Give me 12 of my friends and neighbors. I mean, when you realize and embrace how powerful that is, you start to understand the power that we have as trial lawyers.
Yeah.
Because you can harness that. You can harness that and create justice. It's the most amazing thing what we do.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the founding fathers, that was their mission, right? To always have it fair, and everyone has a right to jury process.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And I guess last question for me. So when you're in trial, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, they get nervous or they get fearful. Is there any routine or ritual? Let's say you get a special latte from Starbucks before the big trial, or anything like that.
I have like a playlist that I listen on the way to court. I like to listen to The Ghost of Tom Joad by Rage Against the Machine. Right. That's part of my routine. But truly, at the beginning of every day, I like to just sit and reflect just a second. I'll sit down, I'll close my eyes, before the jury comes in, and just have a lot of gratitude and be thankful that I'm in the position I have. I've been granted the gifts that I have, that I have 12 people that are here for me and my client. And once you realize how special that is, everything else melts away.
Yeah, being grateful, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, it's huge.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by on the show.
Yeah, of course.
We really appreciate it, and can't wait to see you in your speaker event.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks
you
so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to a special edition of Cases Gone Wild. We hope that you enjoyed listening to the show. We'll see you in another 2 weeks on another Cases Gone Wild special edition. Then we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming.